Colin Smiley Petersen, a name that will forever be etched in the history of music and film, passed away at the age of 78 on November 18, 2024. His death marks the end of an era, not only for the Bee Gees, the legendary band that rose to international stardom, but for music lovers and fans around the world who revered him for his drumming and contributions to the band's early success. Petersen was the original drummer for the Bee Gees during their early years, a time when their sound was still in its formative stages, yet his rhythmic ingenuity was key in shaping the sound that would come to define the band. Born in 1946 in the vibrant cultural backdrop of Australia, Colin Petersen's early years were marked by a keen interest in the arts. It was clear from an early age that Petersen had a natural aptitude for performance. Before his music career even began, Petersen gained widespread recognition as a child actor in the 1950s, starring in the iconic Australian film Smiley. The film, which was based on the book by Australian author A. B. Patterson, tells the story of a young boy named Smiley and his adventures in the Australian bush. Colin's portrayal of Smiley was heartfelt and memorable, endearing him to audiences and setting the stage for his lifelong career in entertainment. The film became a defining moment for Petersen, earning him the nickname Smiley, which would stick with him throughout his career. Though his acting career seemed to be on the rise, it wasn't long before Petersen discovered another passion: music. As a young man, he developed an interest in drumming and music, particularly in the realm of rock and roll. He immersed himself in the vibrant musical culture of Australia in the 1960s, where the pop and rock scenes were beginning to explode. It was during this time that Petersen met the Gibb brothers, Barry, Robin, and Maurice, who would later form the Bee Gees. Their bond was forged in the creative melting pot of Australia, and it wasn't long before Petersen joined the band as their original drummer. In the early days of the Bee Gees, the sound that would later dominate the disco era was still in its infancy. The group was known for their beautiful harmonies and pop sensibilities, but it was the unique drumming of Colin Petersen that helped give their music an edge and texture that set them apart from other acts. His style was a crucial component in the Bee Gees' early albums, particularly Bee Gees' first, which was released in 1967. The album was a defining moment for the band, and Petersen's drumming helped the Bee Gees achieve their breakthrough sound. Songs like Massachusetts, To Love Somebody, and Words became instant classics and would remain synonymous with the Bee Gees' early success. But these songs, which continue to resonate with audiences decades later, were not simply the result of studio magic. They were a product of a collaborative effort where each member of the band, Barry, Robin, Maurice, and Colin, brought their unique strengths to the table. In the case of Petersen, it was his understanding of rhythm, his ability to create texture, and his intuitive playing style that made him an irreplaceable part of the Bee Gees' magic. In a 2022 interview with Jason Barnard on the Strange Brew podcast, Petersen reflected on the magic of the band's early years. He shared anecdotes from the studio, describing the unique collaborative energy that defined their recording process. "We'd often go into the studio without a song," Petersen explained, "which gave me the chance to experiment with tempos and rhythms. Those tracks had a real spontaneity because we worked on them as a group. We never recorded our parts separately, it was all done together, with the orchestra coming in later." These words reveal the raw, unpolished approach that helped the Bee Gees' music stand out from the crowd. Unlike many artists who recorded their parts separately, the Bee Gees recorded their music together as a cohesive unit, creating a sound that was born from organic collaboration. Petersen also shared how this creative freedom sometimes led to frustration. "Sometimes we'd spend hours in the studio and nothing would come together, so we'd pack up and try again another day. But when inspiration hit, we could knock out 3 backing tracks in one night." This balance of spontaneity and persistence was at the heart of the Bee Gees' success, and Petersen's role in that process was crucial. He was not just a drummer but a vital part of the creative chemistry that made their early records stand out. When it came to his drumming style, Petersen was known for being unflashy but incredibly effective. He was never one to rely on complex technicality. Instead, he preferred to serve the song. "I wasn't the most technically skilled drummer," he said in the interview, "but I think that sometimes less is more. When you're limited, you have to get creative, just like Chuck Berry, who made magic with just a few chords." For me, it was always about serving the song. This philosophy of simplicity allowed Petersen's drumming to feel both fresh and timeless. His playing was an extension of the music itself, adding layers of depth without overwhelming the melody or vocals. However, despite his undeniable contribution to the Bee Gees' sound, Petersen's time with the band was not to last. In 1969, after just a few years with the group, he left the Bee Gees, a departure that shocked both fans and the members of the band themselves. While the exact reasons for his departure have remained somewhat unclear, it is widely believed that personal differences and a growing tension within the group contributed to his exit. Though he was no longer part of the Bee Gees, Petersen's impact on the band's early success remained profound, and his departure did not diminish his place in music history. After leaving the Bee Gees, Petersen continued to pursue music in a variety of ways. Though he never achieved the same level of fame as he did with the Bee Gees, he remained a beloved figure in the music world. In the years that followed, he occasionally performed with other artists, but it wasn't until later in his life that he truly reconnected with the music of the Bee Gees. Through his involvement in the Best of the Bee Gees tribute show, Petersen was able to share his story with a new generation of fans, many of whom were unaware of his crucial role in the band's rise to stardom. Petersen's involvement in the tribute show allowed him to reflect on his time with the Bee Gees and share his personal experiences with the music that had shaped his life. His contributions to the show were not just a way to celebrate the Bee Gees' legacy, but also an opportunity for Petersen to express his own unique perspective on the music they had created together. Through this, he helped younger audiences understand the roots of the Bee Gees sound, and the band's early music was once again brought to life in a way that felt personal and authentic. As the years went by, Petersen's reflections on his time with the Bee Gees became more introspective. In a 2022 interview, he spoke candidly about the challenges of being part of such a legendary band. He revealed that, despite their success, the Bee Gees were not without their struggles. "There were moments when we were all under a lot of pressure," he said. "But when we played together, that pressure seemed to melt away. It was like we were all one unit, and the music was what kept us together." This unity, despite the challenges they faced, was the essence of the Bee Gees' success. And Petersen was proud to have been a part of that. In the end, Colin Petersen's legacy is one of quiet brilliance. His contribution to the Bee Gees, particularly during their early years, was not about flashy solos or attention-grabbing performances. Instead, it was about serving the song, creating a rhythm that allowed the music to breathe and resonate with listeners. His drumming was the foundation upon which some of the Bee Gees' most iconic songs were built, and his impact on their sound can still be felt today. Petersen's passing is a reminder of the delicate balance between the artistry of music and the fragility of life. He may have left the Bee Gees long ago, but his contributions to their early sound and his role in their rise to fame will never be forgotten. Colin Smiley Petersen was a man who lived through music, and in the hearts of those who loved his work, he will continue to live on as timeless as the songs he helped create.